The maritime trade history of Orissa dates back to 4th century AD. Its trade links extended to the Mediterranean region in the west and the Southeast Asian islands of Sri Lanka, Malaysia and Indonesia in the east. Merchant ships sailed to and from the major trading ports of Palur, Gopalpur, Pithunda and Dhamra. While many of the ancient ports were forgotten with time, Dhamra was vibrant till after the British rule and was an important trade and commerce link between Bengal, Orissa and the Southeast Asia. The first official notification defining the limits of the port dates back to 1881, which was subsequently revised in 1931. The eastern states of India, namely Orissa, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, are rich in mineral resources like iron, manganese, bauxite, coal, etc. Cargo such as these need large vessels and therefore deep water ports. The existing ports along the eastern coast like Kolkata, Haldia and Paradip have neither the capacity nor the depth to handle such vessels. It therefore became essential to build a deep water port in the eastern coast which could handle large-sized vessels and therefore more cargo. In 1990, IIT Chennai suggested Dhamra as the ideal location for a deep water port, and the government of Orissa did a detailed feasibility study in 1996. The government of Orissa signed a concession agreement with International Seaport Limited in 1997 to build a port under public-private participation through a special purpose company, DPCL, or the Dhamra Port Company Limited. In 2004, DPCL became a 50-50 joint venture of Tata Steel and L&T.
You have to have ports which are as deep as those in China, those in Australia. We don't have that kind of port. Dhamra is going to be the first of its kind in this entire region. The mineral development, the industrial development of the entire region is looking to Dhamra.
The port is a public infrastructure and is expected to herald a new chapter in the economic development of the region, which is otherwise one of the most backward in the country. Unfortunately, since its very inception, a number of apprehensions have been expressed by certain groups and individuals, mostly campaigners, to malign the project as an environmental threat. We shall address some of these misconceptions. The location of the port. The port is not located where turtles nest. In fact, between Gahirmatha, where turtles nest, and the site where the port is being built, there are two river mouths, River Dhamra and River Maipura. Considering that Gahirmatha is the northernmost nesting site and turtles come from the south, the port location, which is further north of Gahirmatha, should be least frequented by turtles. The National Environment Appellate Authority, which visited the site, clearly ruled that the place is unsuitable for turtle nesting. This is what the Chief Wildlife Warden of Government of Orissa reported about the port site. The olive ridley turtles nest in the Gahirmatha beach, which is about 15 kilometers from the port site as the crow flies. But as there is dispersal of islands and sandbars, actual water route distance from the port site to the nesting beach is about 30 kilometers. No other endangered marine life occurs or nest in close vicinity of the proposed port site. The Wildlife Institute of India report divides the coast of Orissa into 8 sectors, out of which turtles visit 7 sectors either sporadically or en masse for nesting. As per WII study of 2000, nesting of olive ridley turtles takes place along the coastline south of Dhamra river mouth. The turtles do not visit the northern sector of River Dhamra. Breeding, congregation and mating pairs were found within an area of 52 square kilometers in the coastal water of Gahirmatha. This area falls within the 1400 square kilometers of coast declared as marine sanctuary. The upcoming port area is sufficiently away from the outer limits of the buffer area of National Marine Sanctuary.
If we had shifted it little south, we would have been inside the total sanctuary. And if we go little further north, we will be inside an area which has been earmarked as military practice area. So, there is no question of going further north also.
The port developers have, however, remained open to funding and facilitating further studies by anyone who has doubts or concerns. WWF India and BNHS, who agreed to undertake such study, withdrew from the same, although the Port Authority suspended construction for about a year to facilitate the study. No plausible reason was given for the withdrawal. DPCL is aware of its social responsibilities and invited IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, the world's premier scientific body on conservation, to help assess the situation and put in place an appropriate environment management plan, reaffirming that shipping activity and turtle habitations coexist in many parts of the world. IUCN identified 3 immediate areas of concern: dredging, lighting, and environmental impacts resulting from secondary development. In collaboration with Marine Turtle Specialist Group, IUCN coordinated monitoring of dredging activities and have advised on detailed specifications for turtle-friendly lights for the Dhamra Port facility. Turtle deflectors have been installed in the drag heads of the dredgers working in the port area and further. Dhamra is going to become the first port in India to install the dark sky lighting system, which is turtle-friendly.
That hatching takes place only during about 10 days in a year. There is no logic, there is no wisdom in plunging the entire coast of Orissa into darkness just for those 10 days, because enough care can be taken during those 10 days and even during the rest of the year by using the right kind of lights.
IUCN has also played a key role in conservation. It is creating awareness amongst local community and is also facilitating various studies to identify the research gaps for conservation of turtles in the area. In addition, DPCL has initiated the Environment Monitoring Committee to ensure compliance with conditions of environmental clearance. DPCL has also collaborated with Regional Research Laboratory to monitor seawater quality with reference to marine productivity, and National Institute of Oceanography to study the impact of dredging on beach profile. DPCL has also initiated programs for betterment of the lives of periphery and fishermen community, realizing that lack of knowledge and poverty is a hindrance to the conservation process. Village development, healthcare, and education are the key initiatives going on in the area. In March 2009, around 1,70,000 olive ridley turtles have nested in Gahirmatha as the dredging of the Dhamra North Canal continues, as DPCL prepares to set an example for an environmentally sustainable port of the future. The olive ridley turtles continue to visit the Orissa coast as they have for thousands of years, and the Aribada continues.